again, the appeal of Death Valley became amazing. We don't have to, we're seeing amazing places. We're talking about all the history and the characters. Literally over the course of the last 5 years, I don't know how many books we've bought on Death Valley. It's very intriguing to me. There's something about it that is just, it's part of our history that I think a lot of people don't see. They don't remember. They don't know that this place existed.
Never been to Death Valley. I thought it was a desert with some cactus. As you guys were riding along, you heard Corey narrate that. Who wants to go to Death Valley? It's the hottest place on earth. And when we came here, it's nothing like you've ever seen. Phenomenal. It's a beautiful place. There's so many things to see here. And it's not just a desert.
You know, maybe those buildings won't be there that we were able to see and get the education on. And so I would, you know, take advantage of it, because you got to plan a little bit and make some goals to do something. Otherwise, you're not going to get out and do it.
Yeah, very much so. Exceeded by far, and we knew it would. We knew that we would get a history lesson just following, you know, Del and Corey throughout the years. I knew that us coming here for the history, for the education, we're leaving Death Valley with such a deeper knowledge of you know, how this place came to be, who the characters, you know, in the valley were, and just how it impacted the West. I mean, it's huge impact. They had to come through here to get up to, you know, the gold rush up north. So definitely a history lesson today.
Morning, amigo. How are you?
Muy bien, ¿y tú?
Good,
Muy
good.
bien.
Welcome to Death Valley.
Thank you.
How's that sound?
Beautiful.
We all have to work together to keep these trails open.
True, I agree. And not just in this area, like all around the country.
Everywhere.
Yeah, all around the country is very important, because as I was recently in Florida,
Yeah.
we had some issues closing trails there,
Right.
but also in Minnesota. But at the same time, we're all trying to open some of those other trails, like you mentioned.
You
and
bet.
protect them is very important.
And it's always the same. It's, you know, people need to get involved and understand that we work together, learn the rules,
Right.
and we can keep these trails open.
You're right, I agree.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, good.
This place really changed my whole perspective as to what we do as off-roaders. I came out here a number of years ago with Del, and we decided we were going to do these modern Jeeper adventures. And we live in Colorado, so home for me is, I'm a rock crawler guy. I mean, I've always was on the extreme side of stuff, Moab, the San Juans, Montrose area, and coming out here really changed my whole vision of what we do, and the fact that we can travel 100 miles a day still within the regions of the park, and you're going to see stuff that it's just amazing to me that we have this kind of geography right here, and it's so diverse. But other than the geography and the sights we'll see, the characters, the history, the legends of Death Valley, the people who created this place and were the first people to travel through it, that there's a ton of information. We're literally, in 3.5 days, we're going to see just a very small fraction of this entire park. It's 3.5 million acres. And if you can't, I mean, that's hard to even imagine, but the fact that we can drive 100 miles all within the park, pretty much almost any direction, it's crazy. So we're going to show you some really cool stuff. Del has a couple words, so.
Welcome to Death Valley, 35 years of doing this. The reason I go with Modern Jeeper and Metal Cloak, 2 reasons, Corey and Jesse, of course, but the company and everybody on staff believes in keeping trails open and doing this right. And that's all I do for a living, you might say, is to keep our sport alive. So to tag along with these folks, Aaron, the whole crew, they inspire people to do it right, follow the rules, minimum impact on the land, take your trash out. So I'm here to make sure that we all do that, but you know that. Take the message back tell your friends, set the example. And to go with Metal Cloak, Modern Jeeper is a good way to be part of that solution. So thanks for being here.
I have watched the Modern Jeeper adventures grow over the last couple of years, and I haven't been able to participate because I've been busy doing other things, and finally got an opening in my schedule, so I thought I would come along, and I wanted to learn more about Death Valley because I've spent some time out here on my own, but I was looking forward to getting some history and knowledge from the experts.
What Death Valley did to you the first time you came?
Well, Corey had showed me pictures. I didn't get to go with him the first couple of times. I had some family things I had to take care of. But when I finally did get to come, you know, I saw all the pictures. You have a little small snippet of what to expect. I've always been in love with the desert. Cactus are my favorite friends. I love them. It's just been the most amazing, diverse, crazy place that I've ever been. And it's serene, it's peaceful. There's so much history here. Just try and get through everything. And yeah, it's just, you've got snow, you've got mountains, you've got desert, you've got pine trees, you've got a whole ecosystem here. It's very diverse. I don't think we've covered enough of the park. Every time we come out here, it's something new, it's something different, it's magic.
One of the things that's so different about overlanding versus rock crawling trips is we're all about tire safety. We don't want to keep our tires in the best place possible because we don't necessarily want to be out changing tires. So always keep that in mind. Put your tire in the best place possible.
Coming out here to Death Valley changed my perspective again. We were also used to, we would spend 8 hours going up a trail that was 1 mile long. And literally we would cover 1 mile in a day. And coming out here and where we're covering, we can cover 20 miles or we can cover 100 miles. It's so amazingly diverse, like Jesse said. It's hard to describe, and it kind of opened my eyes to everything that our entire planet has to offer.
So we're actually locals out here.
Okay.
We're out of Pahrump, just outside of Death Valley.
Okay.
We run Death Valley quite a bit, so we've run all these trails in the past. But the commentary that you get on the trail makes the trails brand new for us again. You know, we've learned a ton, you know, and we thought we knew everything there was to know about these trails. But, you know, the knowledge and the expertise between Jesse and Corey and Del, I mean, it's just really nice. It makes the trails new again. And it's a good group that's out here. You know, sometimes you go on runs and there'll be people that are not as likable as the folks that you'll find on a modern Jeeper trip. You know, everybody is like-minded and just a great group to wheel with. So yeah, it's awesome.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I've greatly enjoyed this trip so far. I think what they're doing is really good, and what they've talked about preserving the land and stuff like that, I think that's very important. And I highly recommend that if you have an opportunity to go on another trip like this, and I'm hoping to be able to do it with another trip with my wife, and either just come back to Death Valley or do the Rubicon or some other trail.
6,000 ounces of gold, 7 million ounces of silver, 117 million pounds of lead, 52 and zinc. They just produced and produced a lot of money.
Oh, how many times have you done this trip?
3 times.
3 times? Nice.
And I did a couple times with Del, with Del and
Just with Del?
with some friends of his.
Oh, this is awesome. Beautiful.
It's interesting. I'm gonna go back and look at my old pictures. I think that building there, I think, was more structure standing to it.
Oh.
And it's kind of dropped off a little bit. Like it was like that one over there.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And they tried to prop it up inside there, but I don't think it was working.
Strong enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the conditions here, I'm guessing, during the summer, so brutal.
And this over here is kind of cool. That little jack house there.
Uh-huh.
It's all built into the dirt.
Oh, cool. Look at that. What would they use that house for?
That was like someone's house.
Oh.
It was covered on 3 sides. And then you have the entryway, so you know, it's out of the wind, out of the temperature. You get a little fireplace going inside there, and you're good to go.
Okay, that's good. It's amazing.
Great giant seabed. There's a lot of limestone in this canyon. Obviously, this has all been washed by various eroded, water flows, flash floods. But the wildlife and the plant life is pretty impressive considering. We have all kinds of cactus, the creosote bushes. Like I was mentioning before, the creosote, the green bushes, they can go 2 years without a drink of water and still survive. It's a window rock. It's naturally caused by wind erosion here in Death Valley. As the wind rushes up this canyon, it gradually wears that eye to where you can actually see the valley floor if you get in the right spot. See that through there? Look at that.
Yep.
You got mountains down there. It's just beautiful.
It's
Self-leveling?
yeah, a little bit, yeah. It helps.
I'm Del Albright. I'm from Northern California, a little town called McCollum Hill, and I call that my four-wheeling base, close to the Rubicon. Death Valley is probably the most magical, mysterious place I've ever explored. I've been all over the country, lived in 16 states, 3 countries. I come back to Death Valley every year for 35 years because it has so many stories that captures the attention of anybody out here exploring. So one of the really cool things about coming to Death Valley with a new person, a new Overlander, a new Jeeper, four-wheeler, is that they come around a corner and all of a sudden the magic just hits them in the face. They can't imagine seeing what these pioneers did in this country. All the mining structures, the roads, the pipelines, the buildings. It's like it never ends with the surprises. And that's one thing about Death Valley. I'm always surprised by something special. And it gets me right here. I keep coming back.
Perfect. Yep, just like that. Come over. Yep. Nice and easy. Coming down. Come towards me. Coming down a little fall here. There you go. Yep, stay right there. Now towards me. Easy, 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 easy. Coming down. Yep. And you're down. Good job. Thanks, bro. You bet. Yep, just like that. Just like that. Coming down here, nice and easy. Yep, now turn towards me. Good line. Nice and easy. Towards me. Easy, easy. That gladiator just loves to hang up right there. Yep. Get the license plate a little bit. Oh, is that it? Yep. A little bit that way. There you go. Perfect. Now come down. Stay that way. Stay that way.
My name is Andy Rhodes.
And I'm Carolyn Rhodes, and we're from Roseville, California.
Can you share some feedback on how's it been traveling with Modern Jeeper?
One of the best things that I like about this whole experience is the fact that I don't have to make any decisions. All the thought and where we're going, where we're stopping, what we're gonna see, it's all planned out.
And even if a plan goes awry, like gas today or where we're camping, it's just as fun. It's always a good experience. You just sit back and you wait for Corey to decide.
It's nice because I make decisions all day long, and it's great to come out here and have somebody tell me, we're going here, we're going there, and it's just fun. No responsibility, just sit behind the wheel and drive.
Two. I was right. right. Yes.
So yes, my parents are from Nebraska. I'm originally from Oklahoma.
Good morning, Dale.
Did you come to join me for a breakfast of champions?
Yes, sir.
Looky here, we got a breakfast skillet in a bag, just add hot water. We got camp coffee percolated. Doesn't get any better than that right here in Death Valley. Have you tried these?
I have not actually.
Backpacking kind of stuff.
Oh, okay.
Add a couple of cups of water. Not bad. How'd you guys sleep last night?
We slept good. We slept good. It was
once the wind died.
Yeah, once the wind died, but also it was we were exhausted, tired.
Yeah.
So we slept and just fell asleep.
Good. Good. Me too. Yeah. It's gonna be a great day.
Yeah.
Here we go.
It would be so useful.
All right, here we go.
Did you go to college?
I did.
Where?
San Diego.
Did it have a handshake? Are you an Aztec?
Yes.
I'm a Badger.
I'm sorry.
Can you name the school?
Yeah, you are.
Over. The Wisconsin handshake.
Wow.
How cool was that?
We have a lot of miles today on the highway, but we're going to head quite a ways south to the south end of the park. So we're going to go through Artist Drive, which is a little loop, a one-way loop. So we're going to go beyond the exit, turn in, go through Artist Drive, and then have to loop back and head south. We'll go down to Badwater. We'll make a stop in Badwater. You guys can get out and take some pictures and whatnot.
Did you see the sea level sign up there almost 300 feet above us? Sitting right there on the cliff. Gives you a perspective of how this used to be and before it dropped as a basin. We are under the ocean, technically.
Lowest spot in North America. Now if you think about it, so 279 feet is where the parking lot is. The lowest spot in the valley is 282 feet-ish further out into the flats. That's really low. It's below sea level, right? So the Dead Sea is 1,000 feet below that. That's the lowest point on the planet, the Asian Dead Sea. I was hooked. I mean, it was so different than anything where I'd ever been and anything I'd ever done. Every time we go through one of the visitor centers, I start collecting books.
Gotcha.
And I mean, I've got a few books up there, my little references that I can relate to, because I've created some notes in my iPad and on my phone. So as we go, I can kind of go, oh yeah, this is that spot, this is that spot.
Gotcha.
But there's so much information available about the park. And again, like we've been talking, it's from geography to geology to the weather to the trail systems. I mean,
it's funny how he knew all the ancient cephalopods and all that. I took a whole course on that in school. You know?
Right.
I barely remember it now.
Well, and it's yeah. I mean, if I was to show you my notes here, it's kind of crazy because there's just so much information, and as you start going through it, everything is categorized by where we're at, which road we're on. So I can go into my BD to Gold Point notes, and I know mileages.
And you put that all in yourself.
Yeah.
program or?
Just typing in notes.
Wow.
Yeah. So I can actually, you know, if we're going to Bullfrog, there's a whole section here of stuff I've found on the internet. I'll read a section out of a book and then I'll type it in here in my own words so that I can kind of go back and
That's wild. So you're putting a lot of work in.
There's some definite time, but again, and now it's gotten to the point where I just use it as kind of a reference that I can go, okay, this is that area. This particular trip, we're going to an area that I'm not very familiar with. So this Ibex Wilderness area that we're headed to is it's unique, it's different, and it's outside the park. So it's new to me. We came out and did some scouting, and you know, it's kind of like, okay, I know what I want to talk about. I know where I want to go because I'd seen pictures of a mine that I'd never been to, and I've always wanted to find that mine. Well, we found it.
Right.
It's going to be a challenge up for us to get to, but then I went back and I got on the internet and I'm like, okay, I got to know more about that mine. So it all starts from there, and you just kind of keep growing that little mental database and go, okay, I can get us around here pretty good.
John Vanderslice.
Dee Vanderslice.
We're from New Jersey. So last year we did Metal Cloak on my Jeep, and somehow I guess I got an email about a podcast called Modern Jeeper Podcast, and Corey, Jesse, and Matson were on it. So I listened to that, and they mentioned they have a couple adventures coming up, and so we joined one in November. Unfortunately, I had a breakdown of my Jeep, and my sister had to help out, so we weren't able to do that trip. So we did the next trip, and they were gracious enough to, you know, allow the fee to be transferred. So it's always good to see an area like this with other people that have a knowledge of the area around this. I would never go to half the places we've been to.
We saw so much on this trip, and it was really interesting with the narration. You know, you get the full picture of, you know, as you're driving along, you can imagine in your head, you can kind of envision what was going on way back when, and I loved having the narration. It was very.
And I think that separates this trip from a lot of other trips we've been on. It's just the knowledge of the, you know, gentlemen that are running it, and you know, their stories. You know, it's a lot of fun.
Sí, pegadito ahí.
Amazing.
You imagine, and see the platform like that right there, where the wood is, that was probably like a generator and a winch compressor. So they run the generator and the big, run the cable, ore cart goes down, fill it up, bring it up on the winch pulley, drop it into a bucket. Yep.
And dump it.
Isn't it something?
Yeah, this is something. How deep do these mines go?
Hundreds of feet, hundreds. And the amazing thing is the wood is in such good shape. When you look at this 100-year-old timber, because the desert doesn't rot wood, it just preserves it.
It looks like there used to be a hinge over there.
Might have been a door. Oh, I see it, yeah. Might have been a trap door.
To cover this over.
And see how they're pumping in, probably pumping in water. You can go over there and stand on that pile and get a shot looking right out the end if you want.
Tell you a story about a couple I know. They really love Death Valley, especially in the snow. Now most people go in the springtime when it comes to Corey and Jesse. They like to go when they can make a snowball, and they roll on down the road where the Joshua trees like to grow, and everybody knows I'm talking about that valley with Corey and Jesse. Now this story's about Jessie and her wheeling man Corey. They jeep all over the country. Their life is quite a story. If you see them on the road, big smiles on their face, you can bet your bottom dollar they're headed to that special desert place. And they roll on down the road where the Joshua trees like to grow, and everybody knows I'm talking about that valley with Corey and Jesse. Yeah, I'm talking about that valley with my good friends Corey and Jesse.
Yeah.
That was great.
That's new.
My name is Rob Ringen.
And I'm Sue Ringen.
We're from San Diego, California. So this is our first time with Modern Jeepers. I've followed them, Del and Corey. I've followed them online. What drew me to them is their maturity and their passion for really sending the right message that I feel that a lot of the social media folks in overlanding today aren't championing the right message, and that's that, hey, we need to be good stewards of the land, how to preserve these trails for our kids. If you've ever heard Del speak, I mean, he speaks that every time he opens his mouth. He's very passionate about that. We are passionate about that, and that's why we followed them. So when we heard that this trip was on, in kind of near our backyards, we were all in. So we are all in on the Mountain Jeeper theme. We're not going to be, this isn't our last one. We would love to attend more just because of the history lessons that we get with Corey and Del together. That's really a tandem you just can't beat. Not only are they giving us great trails, the history lesson that we get along the trails really makes it fun. So that's kind of what I love about it.
Yeah, and I think this group that's come out is, we're all kind of the same thing where we love going off-roading, but we respect the land, and you can make trails because Mother Nature's just gonna come through and make her own path too. But be respectful. So I think this group is really, really good.
Synclines, where the faulting and pushing up of the rocks makes it look right at eye level like a smiling droop in the rock face, or a smiling arch. Anticlines and synclines. We get to one, we'll talk more about it. Rail gunner at the Y, steam to the right, convoys in line, everybody.
That kind of stuff, but there was a lot of deposits out here that are relatively close to the surface.
Creo que era a la izquierda. Ah, pues.
Some of that white.
So the Lotus mine was actually owned by Carl Mengel up until 1935. He spent years out here bringing ore out of this area. The mine is actually 2,800 feet above us on the side of that mountain. There's 2 aerial tramways. There's 1,000 foot of connecting tunnels up there. Yeah, they brought a tremendous amount of ore down these trams. It's one of the few mines in the park that the property owners, it's private, and the property owners continue to pay their BLM annual dues in order to retain the rights to their claim.
Charlie Manson tomorrow, but one of the things that he and his clan of hippies did when they got to Ballarat back in the 60s, they're the ones responsible for graffiti in the town.
Somebody that's coming here for the first time, be open, read all you can, watch videos, go to the visitor center, explore what the National Park Service has done in order for us to all be out here and enjoy this.
For someone coming to Death Valley for the first time, it's really important to do some homework. Watch some YouTube videos, people like me, other explorers, get some map work done. Google places like fun places to see in Death Valley, and then study a little bit about what you might see. Verify with your own work on your GPS that there's roads to get there. Take a partner. Always have somebody with you because the desert sneaks up on you. In fact, John Wayne, one of my heroes, I was actually in a movie with him once, but he would say to people coming to the desert, everything out here will either stick you, stab you, or sting you. So don't go ill-prepared. Have a partner. And like I say, do some homework. You'll have an adventure of a lifetime. There's plenty of information on the internet. You can check my website, delalbright.com. I have a lot of Death Valley stuff. So start there, do your homework, get a partner, and come out here and explore. You know, there's a difference between coming out here by yourself or with just your buddies and coming with an organized group, like Modern Jeeper Adventures, Metal Cloak. The difference is, same thing I tell people about the Rubicon, go with somebody who knows where they're going, what the rules are, the secret places to go see, because the trip is so much more rewarding when you have experts that are along to answer your questions and help you understand what the flowers are, the rocks, the geology, the history, the stories. I highly recommend going with an organized group, at least your first time. Then if you want to venture out, that's different, but go with somebody. And if you have a mechanic along, never hurts, because organized runs usually have somebody who can fix stuff.
I went off and joined Modern Jeeper, be a jeeping man. Riding trails, setting sails for the jeeping land. But she didn't like overlanding. She wanted to be glamping. So she went off and found an insurance salesman. Now I got no reason now for going home. All my reason now, she's gone. Got no one there to talk to, even though never home, you know. She said a woman like me needs to have her man around. So get in your Jeep, kiss my ass, I'm gone. I spend most of my off nights here in this bar room, thinking of her, hating him, and drinking. And if I had it all to do over again, well, I'd still be a modern Jeeper man, and she'd be gone.
Good job, Joe.
What? What?
This is why we come out here, so that we can eat dinner in the most beautiful locations.